Is there no notice that needs to be given to take up and reconsider a vote?
Not if the bill passed.
I'm sorry?
Not if the bill passed.
Not if the bill passed.
Correct.
Okay. And parliamentary inquiry, Mr. Speaker.
Please state your inquiry.
Can somebody object to the bill being brought back up again?
Yes.
Okay. What if one would like to object to that?
Well, in this instance, the bill's already been brought back up. I asked if there was objection. There was not any objection, and the bill's now back before the body.
Okay. Parliamentary inquiry, Mr. Speaker.
Please state your inquiry.
Is there any way to get Senate Bill 11 off the floor at this point?
It's not a proper parliamentary inquiry, Mr. Stickland.
Parliamentary inquiry, Mr. Speaker.
Please state your inquiry.
Can one lay Senate Bill 11 across the table? Across the journal.
Mr. Stickland, you're not recognized for that motion.
Parliamentary inquiry.
Please state your inquiry.
Is such a motion a privileged motion?
There is no such motion.
To lay a bill across the journal?
There is no such
Spread
motion.
it across the journal?
There is no such motion. Chair recognizes Dr. Bonnen for a motion.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I move to reconsider the vote by which amendment number 8 by Allison was adopted.
Members, you've heard the motion. Is there any objection?
Mr. Speaker, I'd like to object.
Would you like to speak against the motion to reconsider the amendment, Ms. Stickland? Come on.
I would like to ask the author of the bill a question.
Mr. Stickland, it's a 3-minute pro and con on reconsidering the amendment.
I'm not trying to talk for or against it. I had a question for the author.
I understand, but the rules are that there's a 3-minute pro and con.
Right, but Mr. Speaker, parliamentary inquiry.
And it's the motion to reconsider that's before the House right now, Mr. Stickland.
Correct. But we can't ask the author why he's trying to do this?
Ms. Stickland, Dr. Bonnen has 3 minutes to
Mr. Speaker,
speak.
parliamentary inquiry.
Please state your inquiry, Ms. Stickland.
Is there no way for me to ask the author of Senate Bill 11 a question about why he would like to reconsider?
Mr. Stickland, I was just letting you know that there are 3 minutes pro and con to reconsidering the amendment. Dr. Bonnen will have 3 minutes to explain, up to 3 minutes, he doesn't have to take 3 minutes, as to why he'd like to reconsider the amendment. Chair recognizes Dr. Bonnen.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I appreciate the opportunity to bring this back before the body, and I think that by reconsidering the amendment by Representative Allison, which was an excellent amendment that really spoke to helping to prevent suicide, which is one of the leading causes of death among teenagers in our state and in this country. We actually have an opportunity to do some additional work that will further strengthen this piece of legislation and further make safe our schools in the state of Texas.
Mr. Speaker, does the gentleman yield for a question?
Gentleman yield for a question.
I yield for a
Gentleman
question.
yields.
Representative Bonnen, so are you trying to strip out Representative Allison's amendment?
So the motion is to recall that amendment.
Why?
Because I believe we have an opportunity to then add additional policy to this bill, which will be good for the legislation and good for the state.
So you don't think it's good right now?
I think we can make it better.
And how do you plan on making it better?
by offer. Well, I think there will be other policy offered that can make it better.
Offered by who?
I'm not advised at this time.
You're not advised, but you are bringing before the body a motion to reconsider?
Absolutely.
But you don't know who's going to bring this piece of legislation?
Well, look, I think there's more than one person that can do that. I could do it. Another member could do it.
Are you planning on doing it?
I'm happy to, but it doesn't necessarily mean that it has to be me.
Have you seen the piece of legislation or the amendment that
I have, and in fact, if you would allow us to, we'll let the whole body take a look at it.
Is this something we've seen before?
Absolutely.
It is.
At this stage, there are not a whole lot of things that haven't been seen before.
Is there anyone wishing to speak against the motion to reconsider the amendment?
I would.
Mr. Stickland, in opposition of reconsidering the Allison amendment.
Members, we all kind of know what's going on here, and I hope the folks back at home know what's going on here. Apparently, these rules and the order of business doesn't matter at this time of the night. So what some folks have done is gone into the back room and figure out a way to bring back a bill that died by the rules of the House.
Mr. Stickland, you need to speak to the question of reconsidering the amendment.
Members, this body matters to me and the process matters. And the reason that I am against...
Mr. Guerin, for what purpose?
Parliamentary inquiry, Mr.
Please
Speaker.
state your inquiry.
Mr. Speaker, is anything that has been done tonight violate the rules of the Texas House of Representatives?
No, sir.
Not one thing that's happened this evening on this bill.
No, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you.
I want to be clear, I'm not accusing of any rules being broken. What I'm talking about being broken is the way that we do business. And maybe tonight, this motion to reconsider and bring up another piece of legislation is something that you favor. Maybe you agree with the policy. Maybe you plan on voting for it. And that's fine. But here's what I can promise you. One day there's going to be something that you care about where you might be in the minority. You might not be on the prevailing side. And you're going to hope that these rules and our traditions and the way that this House operates protects you and your ability to stand up for your constituents and do what you think's right. This motion to reconsider is a lot more than one bill. I think it's about what kind of house we want to operate in, where the rules matter. And I hope some of you know this, that there have been times that I've taken very tough political votes and done very tough political things to protect your right to be heard, to protect your right to continue the debate.
Mr. Speaker.
Mr. Canales.
And I hope that tonight,
Mr. Canales,
when you vote on this motion to reconsider,
Mr.
Gentlemen, yield for a question.
not at this time.
Not at this time.
I hope that when you...
Mr. Springer raises a point of order. The gentleman's time has expired. The point of order is well taken and sustained. Dr. Bonnen has moved to reconsider the Allison Amendment on Senate Bill 11. Record vote has been granted by Mr. Stickland. Clerk will please ring the bell. Show Dr. Zerwas voting aye. There being 125 ayes and 17 nays, the amendment is reconsidered. The motion prevails. The amendment is back before the body.